We now have a very interesting update. Does anybody remember that news story of 5 red heifers from Texas that were sent over to Israel so Israel can perform a ceremony that has not been conducted in over 2,000 years so they can rebuild their third temple to usher in their Messiah? This was a very interesting story, but as time progressed, we were getting less and less updates. But as updates were coming out, we were finding out that some of these red heifers were being disqualified. I think they are now down to just 2 out of the 5. These 3 red heifers that have been disqualified are still finding their use because Israel is using artificial insemination to hopefully one day get the perfect red heifer, just in case these other 2 do not work out. If all 5 do not work out, then they do have 5 red heifers that they can breed, like I said, in hopes of one day getting the perfect red heifer. But I guess these other 2 are indeed working out because someone saw a group of Israelis, including rabbis, practicing the ritual of the red heifer in front of the Al-Aqsa mosque. Now, unfortunately, a lot of domestic news here in the United States has stopped talking about the red heifer ritual or the red heifer sacrifice. I do have to go to international news to get any updates, international Middle East news. Even then, any updates are really far and few in between, but like I said, about 2 weeks ago, we really did get a very important update to this story. Multiple Middle East news agencies are reporting on this story. I happen to be reading this article from the CSAT Daily. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but this article is titled, Israelis Prepare for Red Heifer Ritual Near Al-Aqsa Mosque. A group of Israeli Jewish people have reportedly been pictured preparing for the ritual of the red heifer near the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is a site of significant religious importance in Palestine's capital, Jerusalem. The article continues to say that the sacrifice of the red heifer is rooted in Jewish tradition and is believed to be a crucial step towards the construction of a new Jewish temple on the Temple Mount site. What is currently in the place of the new temple is the Al-Aqsa Mosque. The Al-Aqsa Mosque is the 3rd most holiest site in Islam. So for the Israelis, this needs to come down. So you can see that's going to be a very big problem. One of the reasons behind October 7th, or supposedly anyway what we were told, was the arrival of the red heifers. Looking for more information on this photo and this practice, I went to another news agency, another Middle East news agency, Free Press Kashmir. They also released an article on August 8th, 2024, where they also said a group of Israelis have been seen practicing the ritual of the red heifer, believed to pave the way for the construction of the new Jewish temple on the site of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. An Israeli journalist, now I can't pronounce his name, I don't know how to pronounce it, I did look him up, he is an Israeli journalist, shared a photo of temple worshippers performing this ritual near the Temple Mount, stating it would restore purity and allow for the observance of temple duties. This is a very important update, a very big update to the red heifer ritual, because even performing this practice in front of the 3rd most holiest site in Islam would be very, very risky. The fact that they outweighed the risk for just a practice lets me know that we might see the real deal very soon. And the real deal does involve them tearing down the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Now, I do hear some people say that this is not the location of the 3rd temple. Now, the Al-Aqsa Mosque does oversee the Mount of Olives. I don't know where this other location happens to be, but the intention is still clear. They want to tear down the Al-Aqsa Mosque, whether or not the red heifer ritual takes place in this location. Outside of a few YouTube comments, everything that I read says that the 3rd Jewish temple is where the Al-Aqsa Mosque currently stands. Some have even suggested that the red heifer ritual has already happened. Now, I don't know about all that. I do know we are always lied to, so who knows what really the truth is. This is just the most official update that we've had so far. Temple worshippers are now practicing the mitzvah of a red cow in front of the Temple Mount, which will enable the return of purity and the observance of all temple mitzvahs, the post on X or Twitter originally written in Hebrew read. The ritual and the purity they are talking about is the red heifer ashes being used to cleanse temple instruments, the temple, and the temple's priest. A Israeli university's professor of research estimated that the ashes from one red heifer could provide enough cleansing water for 660 billion purifications. So all they need is one red heifer. So if the other one does not work out, the other one will. Notably, the cow in Magal's or the Israeli journalist photo does not appear to be one of these specific heifers, but rather a symbolic representation. The practice took place within Jerusalem's Old City near the Mountain of Olives, suggesting preparation for the ritual in a historically significant area. So to make it very clear, this cow seen in the photo is not the same cow that will be used in the ceremony. This is not one of the 5 red heifers. Again, this is only a practice. This is even more wild because this article says, in Jerusalem, Jewish prayer on the Temple Mount has been prohibited under long-standing agreements, with Jews permitted only to pray at the Western Wall, considered a remnant of the Second Jewish Temple. Throughout the past century, Zionist groups such as the Temple Institute have advocated for Jewish prayer to resume at Al-Aqsa, with some advocating for the mosque demolition and rebuilding of the temple on that site. Jewish people are not even allowed to pray there, but they are gutsy enough to perform a ritual that requires this mosque to be torn down. This is so gutsy, this actually makes me believe that something big is about to happen soon that involves the red heifers. So this is a rather big update. They are now practicing and preparing for the red heifer ritual. The red heifer ritual is actually a rather big story in the Middle East. Like I said, it's not a big story here. We are hardly covering it. I don't remember the last time any big news agency here in the United States or any other country outside the Middle East have been talking about the red heifers, but there are quite a few articles talking about this practice. We are living in such wild and unpredictable times where anything and everything can happen at any moment. And all it takes is one radical to take down the mosque, the Al-Aqsa mosque. And we have a major conflict in the Middle East that could potentially spread all over the world. So again, this is a rather important update. But in any case, thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.
Pray as close as armed guards permit.
It's not about the destruction of Islamic holy sites. It is about preserving this place and being guardians over the house of God for all people.
So you're happy with it where it is?
No, it's going to go 100%, but I believe
it's going to go.
It's 100%. Yeah, the whole thing is going to go. We have to build a temple.
When you say that Dome of the Rock has to go, MJ, it's hard for me to imagine something more incendiary.
Well, let me ask you something. The Middle East seems pretty destabilized right now, and the war, if I'm not mistaken, is already here.